And welcome back to another episode of About That Track. Let's jump into it. As you can tell, I have an obsession with Letterman jackets. I don't know why. This is a video for another time. I can explain that. All right, so this is where I break down music that I have put together. These videos initially go first to the patrons, and then they go out to the public at some point. But here we go. Here's the next track on The Very Best of Ricky and Jane. Dead to Me is a song that we made with, at the time, their name was Nicole Ray. Now their name is Nicholas Ray. And back then, when they were Nicole, they were with a group called The Traveling Suitcase that we ran into at Oshkosh. And they pulled up to Minneapolis, and I had this track. This is like, I think 10 years ago, homie, maybe 2014. I think it was definitely 2014. So 2014, we recorded with Nicole at the time, now Nicholas, and they just had this screamy voice that just is so powerful. And so it's just so good. This is still, for some reason, not working. But they had this really, really, really like just vibrant voice, still do. And I was like, we got to have you on this track. And I had this chorus that I could have sung, but I was like, no, this is better with somebody else. You've been living underneath the ceiling that's made of glass, trying to reach for the stars and everything they said you could have. You won't feel it before you see it. Something like that. But this is it. That's made of glass. Oh, got a little loud. You won't see it before you feel it. That's the next one. What's the life we're living without freedom? Woo! We had these claps like. Okay, so it's good to know that the percussion, this went from Jake to Cecil. So like, we had this idea of like boom 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 boom. It's a little like offbeat, like kind of like Rumbatron or like Dylan Francis, like boom 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 boom. We were listening to a lot of Dylan Francis when this was made. Oh my goodness! And like it's like boom 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 boom. Just hold on, we're going home. So we were messing with a lot of that, and so again, this is this is kind of like an anti-disestablishmentarianism type of song, but it's like the idea or the dream of, whatever's being sold. It's dead to me. It's dead to me, and fresh out the freezer, scars from the meat hooks. There's wool in the air here. Nobody gets a clean look, and so it's like. Left me for dead. And when I think of that, I think of The Last King of Scotland, when they take, it's not Ewan McGregor, it's the brother that played Professor X. I forget. But they take him in the end and they leave him for dead and they put him on the meat hooks. And it's like, dog, we're not playing with you. We're leaving you here to die. And so I get like a vision of that, like walking out of a freezer, like all of a sudden like healed and like feeling fresh and good somehow. But yeah, we continue. Okay. Very entitled with no rival. Got me in my hometown feeling like Fievel. Fievel goes home. Fievel, Welcome to America or something like that. It's about a mouse that leaves Russia and comes to America and all the trials and tribulations that come with it. I remember watching Fievel as a kid and being absolutely terrified. Like, that shit scared the hell out of me, man. I was like, these cats are insane. Got me in my hometown feeling like Fievel. So when they treat you like you don't belong here, DeLorean 88, time travel. Collide. It should have been collide, but for some reason we weren't. It can't stop me and can't stop until me and my fate collide, collide, collide. Somehow that recording got lost in the transition from Jake to Cecil, which was a massive transition. I'm gonna do a whole video just about that at some point. And it just turned into, all right, all right, all right. And that was it. And so it stayed with all right, which doesn't make much sense to the lyrics, but hey, here we are. Now you got a video about it. There you go. Now it goes up a little bit. And then Cecil added this, like, and just Cecil with the percussion just added so much. And then just, it made it so much more fuller at this point, like, so beautiful. Would love to do a music video on this at some point. And then we had this drop off. No, we didn't have a drop off. Oh, the beat does drop off. I knew it. There would be this kid that would come into the barber shop and he had a hat on that said "New Money," and I was like, "Oh man, that's kind of cool. I dig that. What does that mean?" And I started thinking about it like, instead I phrased it as young money, brand new debt, like new money, even though it's coming in, like there's still systems and institutions at play to create new debt. You know, well, actually you owe us a lot. You know, you didn't know that about this fee right here? So it's the idea of like textbook economics reek of comic book crime. So that was in the first verse. Here we go. Stepping out the 97 Civic. Okay. Racial disparity, I'd love to close the gap, but fighting that cause is bare knuckle boxing against the golden axe. This was written at a time where I could not be bothered to come out into the streets and protest. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. So honest to godly, I just, you know, it's literally bare knuckle boxing against a golden axe, like Golden Axe, Sega Genesis, bare knuckle boxing against it. You're not going to beat a golden axe. Now, the idea is that it's not about beating a golden axe. It's about, for me right now, it's about addressing it. And that's the fight for me right now. But it's interesting to hear this voice back then, because this version of me, this version of Toussaint would have never attended a protest in 2020. Would have been like, I got to work a job. I got to deal with other things. I can't be bothered with this. So that's where that comes from. Okay, we'll move on. Watch closely as the blade moves slowly and then try to limit your game to simple side scrolling. Okay, they try to limit your game to simple side scrolling, so it's two-dimensional. So when they try to cut you off, they're trying to limit your dimensions. When really you have so many dimensions to you, more than 3 in fact. And institutions and systems will try to limit your game to side scrolling, but unknowingly, the stars you reach for will already in your hands. Shinobi, bro, that line for me is one of my favorite lines that I've ever written, because Shinobi is actually an arcade game, and Shinobi is side scrolling, but when they're advertising it and you're playing it, they have this thing where like it's like a first person, like let's say if the camera was flipped around me and it's just like he's just throwing out stars and taking out ninjas that are coming at him. That part of the game never gets played, but the stars you reached for were already in your hands. The ninja stars, they're already there. The things the tools that you're looking for, you already got it. So you can fight the power even with what you just have right now. Here we go. I think this one worked. Yeah, that one missed too. Walking the line with the rest of the dumb peels all day, all night, for life. So that one got cut off and it just turned into all right, all right, all right. And a dun peel is a day walker in what is it called? Vampire Hunter D. A Dun Peel is somebody who is a child of a vampire and a human. So, yeah, walking the line with the rest of the Dun Peels. So that you can make of that whatever you will. Being biracial, there's a lot going on there. We can explain that another time. We don't have that much time with this to explain it. Okay, this is where the drop off goes. And I think we had this originally, or Cecil advocated for it, but it was just like a very, very necessary thing. This is interesting. Okay, the thing you're hearing in the background, that is an AT-AT. Bro, it's an AT-AT from Star Wars that we sampled and we put it in it. And it just sounds like doom is pending for this person. They're not gonna live much longer. Star Wars, Rogue One, like it's gonna end very soon. They're not gonna be around for much longer. And then we kind of have the, I don't know how that got thrown in. It's almost like a metronome like snuck in there. No, it's just like a rim shot. Ow! I love to do like a good screaming Jay Hawkins, like just even though his voice is way brighter and like just, God bless the man, could just like crank certain like tones and textures from his voice. But I always love doing that. Ow! Pharrell Williams does it sometimes too, but his a little more, little more like nimble. And then at the end here, it's like, man, could you have made a song out of this? Oh, hey, hey, hey. I mean, that last part, it kind of just shows you the versatility of the entire song of Dead to Me. But you can still check out Nicholas Ray and the Traveling Suitcase. They are still in Oshkosh. I can't wait to go visit them probably this fall. I'm gonna have so much fun. I can't wait to check out one of the shows. But definitely, that is the story of Dead to Me. Well, I will go back to the Dun Peel thing because I'm not gonna lie. I have all the time in the world to explain this to you. Walking the line with the rest of the Dun Peels. So it's this idea of, like with Vampire Hunter D, he was caught in between two worlds, it felt like. And being a biracial person, it can feel like you're caught in between two worlds sometimes. To what degree depends on the person and their experience. But that was where that line came from. But Dead to Me was written at a time where the only thing I felt like I could do is write a song about injustice as opposed to actually go out there and deal with it or address it. So that's that. That is Dead to Me. And don't ever think that a song you started writing 10 years ago can't be completed or finished or dealt with or redrafted or polished. It can always be worked with. You can always come back to it. So, hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're a patron, thank you so much for being a patron. If you're not, go to patreon.com/ToussaintMorrison, check it out, and we'll see you in the next video.